It's the Hot Rod Podcast with Ron Foreman and Brady Wright. We literally live, eat, and breathe cars. Thanks for joining us on the podcast today. Make sure that you hit the subscribe and the like button, mash the notifications on so that you'll know every time we put a new show together and bring it to you here on YouTube. Time to get going. Let's see what's happening this week.
Hey, buddy. We're back again.
Hey, bud.
Good
How you doing?
Man.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you. So, or whatever day they're watching this, I guess.
Monday continued.
Yeah. So this is as we mentioned, this is the Hot Rod Podcast. My co-host Ron Foreman, sitting right there in his shop with the Rat Bastards poster, a very important poster banner today because everybody on the show is going to be a Rat Bastard today.
That's right. It's a family show.
Yeah, we got Ralph and Consuelo Kennedy. Great couple. They're part of the club over on the west side in Washington, you guys. And not
awesome,
only are they going to talk about their shop truck, which is going to be really cool because it's just an awesome truck, but they got some other projects. We're going to be talking about those. And then also, for those people who've been watching, the stuff that we've been talking about before, the annual show that the Rat Bastards put together is called The Infestation, and it's July 29th. And it's going to be in a new location this year in Cedar Woolley. And Ralph and Consuelo were kind of the driving
instrumental
behind that. Yeah, so I'm gonna get to talk about that, I think. What's going on in your woods? Neck of the woods?
I've been working at work a lot.
Yeah. Don't die.
Just a little bit at a time working on the panel and the Plymouth.
Yeah, how's the panel?
A little bit here and there.
How's the panel coming?
Well, but sure, they got the rear end back in, and we got to put the engine and transmission in, get the angle, the dangle, the pinman
gotta get the
rear end,
right.
and the engine, transmission all lined up.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Get that all lined up, and we'll get that done, and hopefully we'll get that rolling pretty quick.
Nice. Well, let's see what Ralph and Consuelo got to say, and we'll come back afterwards.
The Hot Rod Podcast is sponsored by the Idaho Hot Rod Hall of Fame, a nonprofit organization that recognizes and rewards men and women who actively promote the hot rod community, clubs, and builders all over the state of Idaho. Every year we award a Hot Rodder of the Year, a Club of the Year, and a Young Rodder of the Year, as well as giving out scholarship money to students in the auto trades programs at local colleges. If you want to know more, or if you want to nominate an honoree, go to idahof.org or email us at idahof@gmail.com. That's Idahof, IDAHHOF.org, or again, idahof@gmail.com.
So, like we said, we've got Ralph and Consuelo Kennedy with us tonight, and it's sort of an old home week. I mean, Ralph and Consuelo are members of the Rat Bastards Car Club. Ron's the president of the club, and I'm got a chapter chartered in Idaho, so we're all a bunch of bastards tonight.
That's right.
Yeah. So one of the things we wanted to talk about was your shop truck, because everybody's building shop trucks these days. It seems like that's kind of the thing that everybody wants to do. And we just put a picture up a little while ago of the first engine you put in the truck, first of 3. So by way of background, how'd you guys get started with the truck? What was the genesis of that? Because I know you got other cars.
Well, I think the best picture is the one with it in the bushes. That one always needs to be posted because that was where we found it.
Sure.
For $300, it was just covered in trees and bushes. So that always needs to be mentioned, that's where the truck originated in Everett. And we were laying in bed one night, and we just had met, and she said she really cherished her father and the memories with her dad. And she said that her dad always worked on the Chevy truck. And she goes, one of these days I'd like to build like a Chevy truck. And that's what started it. And we were laying in bed and we were looking through like OfferUp or, one of the selling sites. And we seen that ad in that truck. And the ad it just said, I think, parting out 1960 Chevy. So it was not very good description. And we got a hold of the guy, and she asked me, she goes, what do you think he's going to want for it? I said, I don't know. $1,500, and he came back with 300, and it was on Christmas Eve, and we went the next day and we bought it, and that's what started the whole thing.
That's great.
For $300, no motor, no tranny, and that's what started the whole thing.
Just about anything that rolls for $300, you can't go wrong.
I mean, it's priceless. I wouldn't sell this truck for $1 million. If you offered me that, I wouldn't sell it.
Well, I don't have that, so you're safe. I'm not going to offer you that much in any case.
No.
So what was the plan? I mean, you took a look at it, you got it home, you brushed the cobwebs off, you got some free firewood, and so what was the plan? What did you decide to do?
So it had no engine, no transmission, and it was a factory 327 and turbo 400.
Oh.
And so, but we ended up finding a 283 and a turbo 400. That's what we put in it. Yeah. And we got it running, and we took it to the show. And I think our first show that we went to was with you guys. And then I ran into Pam McCullough, who I went to high school with in 7th grade. And we kind of reconnected, and she goes, "You should join our club." And then when I looked around and seen the Rat Bastards club and the cars and just what they were stood for, we looked at each other and we thought, this is for us. And
well, it's been an honor having you with us. It's been an honor to have you in our club, and we really appreciate you guys very much. So I would like to, as you mentioned Pam, I'd like to give a shout out to Pam. Best wishes for her and Godspeed for her recovery.
Yeah, she's not doing well. We hope there's some peace there. And I have to toss a personal story in here. We had a club meeting, it may be 3 years ago, at a little pizza joint in Monroe, and I think that was the first time I met you guys at the dinner. And after that dinner, Georgia was there, my wife and I, and after that dinner, she said, "We should spend more time with those guys." And then, of course, we moved to Idaho, so we're not spending any time with you. But yeah, she sort of gravitated to you immediately. She's downstairs, by the way, dealing with the dogs. But yeah,
I think you said the same thing about you guys and Ron and Marcia and the rest of them.
Or it was, we need to not be with those guys. I'm not sure about that.
No, ours was, we need to hang out with these guys. They're awesome.
So you put the 283 in the turbo hydro, kind of a win. So how'd you go about changing the engine? I mean, what was the genesis?
So we ran that for 7 years, and we rebuilt it ourselves in the driveway. And so I found another 283 in Arlington, and it had 202 heads and all this stuff, and I thought it would just be better. And I've had nothing but trouble with it. And so I put that in last year with the air ride and the new wheels from Rat Rod, Greg.
Yeah.
And I ran that last summer, and it just, the 283, the second one just wasn't working out. So we pulled it out, and then it just snowballed into, I need a whole new engine. The transmission was leaking, so we pulled the whole transmission out, and me and her resealed the whole thing, and then a whole new rear end because I didn't like the rear end gear. So it
was pretty low geared.
100% new drivetrain. I mean, from front to back.
That is how that goes. You take one thing out, and all of a sudden, as long as we got that out, maybe we should, and pretty soon, you jacked up the cigarette lighter and put a whole new truck under it. That's how that works.
Pretty much. So that's what I've done the last 2 months with her helping me.
Yeah. Well, and
I drove it to work today for time.
Yeah, some of the
pictures. I saw the pictures.
Run all the pictures.
Very cool.
Yeah, cool. I mean, there's lots of pictures in there of you both doing some work, and that's kind of cool. And it's great to see. That's part of what the club is about. I mean, for people who are watching this from someplace else, the Rat Bastards Car Club, I mean, there's 3 chapters, but the 2 that are really, making noise are the ones, of course, in Monroe. The Washington chapter and the Idaho chapter is getting started. We're up to 4 members now, so we're getting there.
All right, congratulations.
Yeah, well, it's a thing. But I mean, it's
start somewhere.
About helping each other build your vehicles, whatever it is, and the club motto, it's not what you buy, it's what you build, and that's really what this is all about. So we're thrilled that you're part of the club, for one thing, and there's also another piece of you guys' sort of involvement here that people know, and there's going to be a commercial in here. The Bastards are one of the sponsors of the podcast. There's there's an event, an annual event that the Rat Bastards, sponsor called the Infestation, and it's, what is it, Ron? Is it 15 years now?
15 years.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
Yep.
we got it this year. We got a brand new location,
Yep.
and it's up near you, Ralph and Consuelo. It's up near your place, right? So how'd that come about?
Well, it's right down the street and from our house. And there's been this is a huge car community up here in the Skagit Valley.
Right.
And at that park, there's the JJ Cruisers have had a show every year, and they just become, I guess, elderly, if that's a way to put it. And
I think COVID might have had a play in that too, right? COVID might have had a
just-
play in their demise also, probably.
And so the past 4 years they haven't had it, and just I don't know. I grew up down in Renton, and I know what it's like being in Seattle and stuff like that, and it's just really not my thing. But I know up here, we call it God's country, and I just thought we should just have it up here and at least try it. And so I threw it out, and we've been kind of looking at it, and I asked all my friends and all my relatives and everybody I know. This is a huge car community, and everybody just is really excited about it, and this is all
I know I am.
And I think it's going to be our biggest show we've ever had.
Well, it should be awesome. Just for people who are watching this, from some other place or from a little bit of distance, it's worth the drive. Skagit County is in northwestern Washington State. It's not hard to get to. Straight up I-5 if you're coming from the south, straight across 90 or 20 if you're coming from the east. And the place is in a little town called Cedro-Woolley. And the name of is it Riverfront Park? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Yes.
Riverfront Park. And the date of the show is
July 29th.
29th. And it's really, the club is technically a rat rod club, but it's really not. It's pre-69, and it doesn't matter what kind of a vehicle you have. And the show is open to all classes, right? I mean, you can bring pretty much anything you want. What
1983.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean,
1993 or earlier.
Most of the classics and hot rod cars are, in that neck of the woods.
I think so.
A lot of good classes, it's a judged show. And now we talked about this, but I don't remember what the determination was. Are we having a slow drags at this?
We're going to do it.
Did they say no? We are?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. We are doing
it. We also have a limbo contest for the lowest car also.
Yeah.
We'll try that. It's going to be new.
I was just up at one of my friend's house here in Idaho. He's a builder, and we were kind of working on his ride, and he's got a car. Of course, it's bagged and everything, but the top of the roof is about 8 inches above the top of the wheel, so it's pretty low.
We got a winner.
Maybe so. I don't know if he's willing to drive it over there. He might be, but it's running, so we'll have to see. That's very cool. So now the show itself, as I understand it, is free to come and see. If you're going to register to put a car in, what's that going to cost?
We're doing $20. I just thought we just want to keep it affordable.
Yeah.
And we're just going with that.
And just about every show these days is 25 or sometimes 30. So it's right in the ballpark. It's a good deal, a great value, and it's going to be a terrific show.
The proceeds are going to go to the Rotary Park and talk.
Hello.
The proceeds are going to Rotary Park and Autism Talks. I can't talk, but it's going to Autism Talks because I can't.
Yeah, there's a portion going to the Rotary Club up here in Cedro-Woolley. I think Hands to Hands Food Bank is going to get a portion, and then autism is another portion that's getting.
We're going to raise a lot of money for all these people.
Yes,
nice.
We're going to get back to the community.
Sure.
Yeah.
Even, by the way, even if you can't make it to the show, maybe distance or time or schedule or something is an issue, go ahead and register. That money is going to go to those charities anyway. And if you can't make it, that's okay. It's a good way to donate and support those things.
Absolutely. Ralph is building an awesome car to bid on. It's either going to be a flower for the ladies or a fire pit for the guys. And it's really pretty cool. It's going to be a really cool raffle. And we have lots of other raffles as well.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Big things are happening.
Yeah. Well, I'm really
excited.
looking forward to it. As Ron knows, and I think you guys do too, we're definitely driving across. For me,
Awesome.
it's about 320 miles. It's worth the drive. It's going to be so much fun. So I'm really looking forward to it. And if you're watching this someplace else, you definitely need to put this on the schedule. July
29th.
29th. And you can stay the weekend. It's a great place to stay. There's places, to crash locally. Cedar Woolley is.
Yeah, there's a hotel right down the street.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not that far away from Burlington and Mount Vernon and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
There's places with
all kinds of places
and stuff close by. So yeah, in fact, you
A
could
pretty
just
fun party at our house the night before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's going to be
So
good.
that everyone who builds a trophy gets to judge the car for the trophy and present the trophy as well. And they're all handmade, all custom built by our membership. It's going to be really cool. And that's what we're known for, and that's what we're all about. It's giving back.
See, and that's the reason I have to come, because I'm building one of the trophies and I have to deliver it. It's
There you go.
That's
way
true.
too heavy to ship, so you're not gonna want that.
It costs you more to ship it than just to drive it
Yeah,
over.
yeah. Considering I'm building it out of stuff I had in the garage, it's probably it's gonna be good.
I think everyone is.
Yeah, I think so. So
Cool.
hey, a quick one for you guys. Now you've got the shop truck, you've got a couple of other cars. Do you have a project coming up? Have you got one that you're going to start?
No,
Talking to
just
me?
have a couple little things to
we
fix.
have shield on the 50 Chevy to put in.
Yeah.
We talked to Randy from our club, and he knows the guy. So we got a windshield to put in our 50 Chevy.
Nice.
And then the 68 Pontiac, we just got to put a transmission filter in it. But they'll all be at the show. I'll just get all my friends to drive our first one.
That's a win.
Cool. That's awesome.
Awesome. Now, are you guys? Is anybody from this group here? Is anybody going to the show in Manson?
We're going.
Yeah.
And you're going. So we'll see you there.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to bring the 41 Dodge to Manson. It'll be her first show, so that's going to be fun. And other than that, I don't know.
If you make it.
Huh?
If you make it.
What do you mean if I?
You rat bastard.
You never know. But if you break down, call us. We'll come and get you.
Boy,
Yeah.
If I break down, we're going to be in the middle of nowhere.
That's where all the rats are going to come to you to help fix it.
Yeah, well, actually, Greg Richardson is coming over, so if there's a God, I'll
You're
try
in good
to
hands.
where we get to.
Tag along.
Yeah,
Brad,
that'd be good.
Greg.
Well, listen, Ralph and Consuelo Kennedy, I really appreciate you guys coming on the show. It's just super to see
Thank you so much.
And I know your projects are they're never going to stop. And we're looking forward to seeing the shop truck and you guys when we come over. And Ron, it's always good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
You too, buddy. All you guys.
All right.
Family.
Thank you.
Hey, it's a
That was
family
fun.
show.
I love you guys. We'll see you next week.
You're into cars. You love a good time, and you'd rather build it than buy it. You just might love the Rat Bastards. We're a family-oriented nonprofit organization. We welcome all 1969 and older. In the rough is enough, real steel and iron. We're about old-school traditional hot rods and rat rods. We get together, have fun, help each other build, and cruise like crazy, because that's the way car clubs are supposed to be. The Rat Bastards are a new class of old school, and our signature event is the Infestation Show every July. Check our Facebook page for location, time, and dates. We're charter sponsors of the Idaho Hot Rod Hall of Fame and the Hot Rod Podcast. Join us at cruise-ins all over Washington and Idaho. Joining the club is easy, by the way. Contact us through the club page for Washington or Idaho. Check us out on the Rat Bastards Car Club pages on Facebook. We'll see you on the road.
Well, that was fun.
That was. They're good folks. Good folks.
They are super folks. I'm proud to be in the club with them, even though I don't see them as often as I would like.
Absolutely.
But yeah, sounds like the infestation is going to be a good one this year, and like the commercial said, it's going to be a terrific show. 83 or older, any vehicle, any style, any nothing. There's going to be judged.
Correction, 93.
Did I say 83?
93. Yes, you said 83.
I'm sorry. Did I say
93?
I'm
yeah,
old.
you can get a horseless carriage collector car for your car now at 93.
That's right. It's 30.
It helps the kids, with kids that trying to get cars in the wreckage yard and stuff. And
Yeah.
It's tough to find a 30-year car to build to make your hot rod out of. So now that you raise the limit a little bit, you can bring your hot rod that's 93 and earlier, and be able to afford something to make a hot rod out of, or a rat rod out of.
And it's all imagination anyway. You can make a perfectly good hot rod out of a 1990, something. It just depends on what you're
Imagineering.
Yeah, Imagineering.
Imagineering.
Disney would sue us for that one.
I stole that from Disney.
All right, man. Well, hey, it's been fun. Let's do this again next week.
That's it for this episode of the Hot Rod Podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to our show, and we appreciate it if you smash those notification buttons too, so you'll know when a new one drops. For Ron Foreman, I'm Brady Wright. This has been the Hot Rod Podcast. We'll see you on the next one.